Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So today's video I wanted to do this not particularly I like makeup tutorial, not on the eyeshadow, just on the skin. So I wanted to do just focus on the skin because right now I live in New York, upstate New York. I used to live in the Bronx. I'm still Jazmine from the block. But yeah, and it's such a different, like, obviously it's cold in both places, but it does tend to get cold in more upstate New York, so I only live like an hour away from the Bronx. But yeah, it's been really cold lately, so I'm just like, whoever is in other cold climates and other states that are cold, I wanted to help those people out who just suffer from really dry skin. So I have normal to dry skin, but this type of type of weather, I do get really dry skin and I do get dry in certain spots. So in today's video, I'm gonna help you achieve how to help that dry skin um, not look cakey. It just looks dewy, doesn't look too drying, with even a full coverage makeup look. Like this look right here is obviously full coverage, so that's my personally me. I'm such a full coverage queen. I don't like, I mean, natural makeup is beautiful, but I'm either like in no makeup or just a full face. Like there's no in between literally with me. Like I had to choose either or. So yeah, right now, so yeah, I'm gonna teach you all the tips and tricks. And I do have to give credit to Jaclyn Hill because she did help a lot of these tips and tricks that I do. I did get a lot of those from her and it really helps makeup routines. So yeah, if you wanna learn how to get this flawless skin look, please do not forget to subscribe, give this video a big thumbs up, comment, share, and turn on your bell button right next to the subscribe button so every time I upload you're notified. And let's just get to the video. So I decided to do my eyes off camera just because I wanted to focus on the face today, show my tips and tricks on how to fight this dry skin. So like I mentioned in the intro, I wanted to do this video because right now I live in New York. I used to live in the Bronx. Now I live in more upstate New York, which gets colder than the Bronx. So yeah, it's crazy out here. Like it's been so cold the past couple of days. I'm talking about like 20s and 30s, and yeah. So yeah, I just wanna show how I achieve like my tips and tricks on. I did mention in like several videos like my tips on my how to achieve like perfect skin for like dry skin. And yeah, yeah, so I have normal to dry skin, but in this season, this fall approaching winter, it feels like winter already, but I get really really dry like in certain areas, and like right here sometimes, or sometimes my nose, my eyes, my under eyes, it gets really really like flaky, and I hate that. So yeah, I'm gonna show you what I do to have flawless dewy skin. So usually I grab like a hydrating primer, or yeah, just a hydrating glowy primer. So the one I've been using for months already is the Milk Hydro Grip Primer. I love this. It's so hydrating. It looks so glowy and dewy under your foundation. Or sometimes I like to spray any like hydrating or glowy spray. So I love the Too Faced Hangover one. I'm so upset I ran out of it. I'm definitely gonna go pick up another one because I really love that spray. I just love the dewiness it gives me. So I'm gonna go pick up another one definitely. But I like to use that as a primer and setting spray. And also this Morphe Continuous Setting Mist. Oh my god, I love setting this between. You're gonna see how I do it. I did it in previous tutorials, but we're gonna do this today as well. But the spray is so bomb too. It's like melts everything in. It's just beautiful. I'm gonna use the Milk Primer today. It's like a gel consistency. And I just put it all over my face. The trick is I make sure to massage, it's like skincare to my face. Like I make sure I put it like upwards because it just gives like a lift in the face. So See how it just looks so like, I love this stuff. And just because you do have dry skin, you can still use like mattifying products. Just make sure your skincare is a lot of hydration. Of course, drink water and just add a lot of like setting spray. And this is what I do, the steps. Okay, so foundation, I'm going to use the Too Faced Born This Way one. I love this foundation for so many reasons because it's not too matte, it's not too dewy, it's the perfect finish to it. It's like a satin finish, so satin is like a balance between like dewiness and matte. That's what I love about it, and it's like a medium. You could build it up to a full. That's my preference on a foundation, more like on the full coverage. I love full coverage. You could go ahead and use like a dewy foundation. I like the L'Oreal Pro Glow one, or you could use, oh my god, another great foundation for dry skin. I ran out of that too. I'm gonna purchase another one. The Hourglass Stick Foundation. Oh my god, that foundation is so bomb for dry skin, and it's just a flawless coverage. I love that foundation. That's also great for dry skin. So typically, I like to use a damp sponge because it just sets in the skin way more. It doesn't really sit on it that much and is less mattifying than a brush. I don't know too, it's something so much easier applying with like a sponge than a brush. I don't know. That's just me. Sometimes I feel like I always need a little bit of extra coverage. And if you feel like you're looking a little bit dry, if you add like extra foundation, I do also have tips for that. I'm gonna show. This is just my preference. I always like to add a bit more coverage on every foundation I wear. But you could just go on with one layer. It'll be good. Because it's like a medium coverage. And what I do sometimes, I either use any like hydrating setting spray. So I'm going to use the Morphe one and spray it on my sponge. I usually like to do this also with the Too Faced one. I just tap a little because it is a little too wet. I want it to be damp, not too wet. And I just blend it all. I just apply that all over my face like if I'm blending foundation, but I'm not. And I just do this all over and it just looks so much better. Just melts everything in. Okay, so since I do have sometimes dry under eyes, even I apply eye cream all the time, but I still like a soft matte concealer because I feel like it will last on me longer than like a dewy concealer. I feel like it will crease on me and everything, so I like a soft matte concealer. It's not too matte that's gonna like feel and look dry, but it's kind of drying, but it's very wearable, feels light. And so I love the Morphe concealer. I love the coverage. The finish to it is not too matte, but you could also apply a little bit, but I like to apply a lot, just your desired coverage, since I like to cover my bags. That's my worst part about my skin. I do get like a little bit of fine lines and bags under my eyes, so I like to have that full coverage. But what I do sometimes, I also sometimes I just, the same thing I did with foundation, where I spray the setting spray into the sponge. I do the same with the concealer as well. So I will just do this and just blend it. You don't want to slide anything too, just like an extra like reference. Just blend very like lightly because you don't want to take away any product. For this step, obviously you do need to set your face with powder. I like to use any like dewy powder, or like, I mean, I use mattifying powder, but the way I use it as well helps the dryness. As well, I like to use the Hourglass Veil Translucent Setting Powder. I love that powder because it melts in the skin. It looks like a satin dewy finish. It's not too shiny. It just like looks beautiful. But today, just to set like my T-zone, the other under eyes and stuff, I'm just gonna use the Laura Mercier powder, which is matte. What I do is grab a little bit of powder, then I blow it and like tap it a little bit. And I just put it on the eyes, because if I apply a lot, it is gonna look a little bit dry. So you wanna avoid that. And of course, I like to apply a lot on my nose because that's where I tend to get oily. And just a little bit like right here. And then my chin a little. Okay, so this next step, I like to take a very light coverage powder. So I'm gonna use the Maybelline Superstay Better Skin powder. I love this powder so much. This is the shade 20. So I like to use a big brush, or you could use your sponge, but I prefer this brush. Just going in there and just setting the rest of my face with this. It adds a little bit of coverage. It's very light, because if I do another full coverage foundation, powder, is gonna kind of look cakey and dry looking. So I like to do this, because it just makes it look not flat and drying. If I set my whole face with translucent powder, I like this stuff because it adds like a nice, beautiful, like smooth coverage. It's not too matte, not too dewy, just perfect. Alright, so that's pretty much it for my foundation routine for this cold weather. Yeah, that's pretty much what I do. So I'm just gonna do the rest off camera, because I'm really like, I'm just gonna do like my bronzer, lashes, eyebrows, all that good stuff, and then I'm gonna go show my last few steps that also helps. So I'll be right back. So I finished my whole face. Now I'm just gonna set it with the Morphe spray. I usually love to set my Too Faced one, like I said, or any dewy setting or illuminating spray, and then going with setting spray, but I don't have it on me. I need to repurchase it. So, but this also helps so much, this spray. Yeah, so I'm gonna set my whole face. Oh my god. Whew. That spray is so powerful. The trick I like to do, I love to use like a wet highlight, like a wet looking highlight, the Wet n Wild loose highlight I talked about so many times. And I'll just apply that highlight. Love this highlight so much. Oh my god, this highlight is powerful. Look at that. That also helps like my skin look wet. Especially like applying on the forehead like this. I look like a disco ball right now. I'm just gonna blend it with my sponge, because I did put too much. But yeah, I like to do that and then set my face again, so the highlight just melts in and looks even more dewier and glowy. What I also like to do after that, for like if your eyes on the eyes still look a little bit dry, I like to wet my sponge again. Just damp a little bit. And put that right under my under eyes, and it just melts it in so much better and it looks better. Let me see the difference. And the coverage is still there, it just looks more like natural looking. Just anywhere else you have dry parts, I just use any like great hydrating, illuminating, glowy setting spray, and I just tap that bitch. Alright, that's it you guys for this video on how I achieve flawless skin on dry skin. I hope you guys enjoy my tips and tricks, and yeah, this is just what helps me. Big credit, honestly, to Jaclyn Hill. I have to give credit to her because she knows what she's doing, and all the tips she does, most of them I do, and it just helps out so much for me. I think it helps a lot. And yeah, please do not forget to subscribe, give this video a big thumbs up, comment, share, and I'll see you on the next video. Bye bye.